Good morning. How are you? They're on all the chairs. Grab one from another chair. They're on every. Yeah, no, you're good. Thank you.
I keep on putting myself in a situation because I notice what
Welcome. What? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. A spam email? From you again? Can't hear you at all. Sorry. I'll address it, Hamid. I'll talk about it. Good morning, everybody online. Back.
Yeah, buddy. There it goes.
To get on a Zoom call. They send you a link to get on a Zoom call because they want to kind of like meet with you prior to going out to the property. You click on it and it's spam or something that's basically telling you it's not loading, whatever. I got another one. Super realistic, like hi, I want you to continue before showing it. I'd like to hop on a Zoom meeting, so then they send you a link. I went through the work and it's all so.
Thank you. Yeah.
When I feel like.
I got the email also, and basically I responded and asked like, thank you, how did you get my information, right? So, and then they responded back with like the same question, so I knew it was.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing kind of what happened to you? with Hunter, with your, the buyer with the wire fraud?
Yeah, I mean,
It's kind of, it's been a while, so if we can kind of.
yeah, I mean, it's nothing that, really, it's just educating your buyers. So like my buyers have received phishing, like wire fraud from, an outside, email company, an email that made it look like, basically they were just accounts that looked like mine, but there was one letter was off, one letter was off from the title company. And just send them wire instructions. That's just one thing about like talking to your buyers, like, hey, you're never wiring information, wiring any money without talking to us. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously just, they almost, yeah.
And it was like, wasn't it like 10 days
Well, you
prior?
had one that-
Yeah, it was like 10 to 15 days prior, so it's just, I mean, really it's just talking to your buyers and saying, it's not been that far out, you're gonna get confirmation from me or the title company, don't just respond to these things, but I mean, kind of something that was out of our control, it's an outfit.
When that was, with that scenario, there was, it kept happening, it was weird.
Yeah.
With Hunter's email, but, the first one was a $1.4 million almost cash transfer, they were at the bank. They like, the teller like kind of flagged it and they called the processor and question like, whoa, no, that's not our pitch, that would have been catastrophic. The next one, $50,000 was wired out and never got back, so that buyer lost 50 grand from wire fraud. So it happened, it's real, so take it very serious, double check, so.
Many of my gray hairs.
Right here.
Show
Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you. We do have a packed agenda today, so we're gonna jump right in. We'll start off with our cash drawing. So $50 cash just for being present. I apologize to everybody online. I'm like jumping between two laptops just because of, technical creativity in the new office space. We're trying to still get worked out. But that's why you may see me looking over here, but I'm really with you guys. So you want to draw?
On the one with the bed, what is that? The bed edge? Yes. The pages.
I figured. Like that was even a question. Congratulations, guys. So we also have, I would like to welcome new agents to the office. We've had since our December office meeting, we've had 4 agents join the office. We have a couple more joining this week and next week, which is super exciting. I would like to welcome, I don't think she's here today. I think she had a prior commitment, Jessica Fulton, who signed up with us the end of the week last week. She joins us. She has over 10 years in the business. She comes from Coldwell Banker. So when you see her around, please give her a warm welcome. JD Griffin, who is new to the business. Welcome, JD. And JD was introduced to us by Bobby Horwath. This is Bobby's little reward. Little cash bonus. Thank you for the introduction, Bobby. What's that? What does Bobby drive? I know, right? Cash brings them in. And then Micah Owens, who's a new agent that joined us. Welcome, Micah.
I forgot.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
No, little funny story. I've actually known Micah since he was like an infant. I know, right? His dad and I used to work together in my first life when I worked for a marketing and design firm out of college. His dad, Key, and I worked together. And then that's actually how we met him and his brother Long. So kind of a wild roundabout story. So here he is with us today. Welcome.
Yeah, they just talked about it.
He's older than me. So yeah. And then last but not least, signing on with us literally yesterday, Sherry Spriggs, who joined us from Redfin, also with a few years of experience as well. So welcome to all of our new agents, and we're glad to have you here with us. And market stats. So Mid-Atlantic region, December held strong with 25 median days on the market, 101% average list to close price. Central PA, 15 median days on the market, 100% average list to close price. And then for our office, our brokerage, 16 median days on the market for our listings, 100% average list to close price. So strong month. And then as you all know, things are happening in the market. We'll wait and let Keith and Terry talk about that a little bit. But hopefully some of those stats may start to change even more. Office recap. This one I'm really excited for you guys, for all of us to talk about. So as you know, probably every year in January, we kind of go back over and what did the previous year look like for the offices. We had a really strong year last year. Honestly, our strongest year ever, which is incredible. And thanks to all of you in the room. For our Howard County office, traditionally, you probably will remember that for years and years, we've always bounced between 15 and 16 in the market rankings among all Howard County offices. 2025, we finished out at number 6, family. The number 6 in ends closed sides, that's closed transaction count. Number 11 for volume. So where we did more transactions, our volume came in just a little bit shy of some of the other brokerages out there. But that's unbelievable. I mean, that's huge. And when we're talking about just the transactions that ran through this branch location. So this does not count our North Beach office transactions. It does not count our Westminster office transactions, just our Howard County agents, which account for about 80% of our agent count. So with about 82 agents, we ranked number 6 in all of Howard County. That's competing against, as you know, offices with 400, 500, 600 agents. So that's pretty phenomenal. I mean, it's super exciting. So congratulations to you guys. Our Howard County office with about 12 agents in that office location registered closing transactions out of all Calvert County offices came in ranked number 17, both in closed ends and in sales volume. So congratulations. That is awesome. I don't know if you guys know historically, Ellie. What? 4. Okay. And then our Carroll County office, our Westminster office, with 2 agents registered in that office, came in ranked number 24 in closed ends and number 25 in volume. So that is pretty incredible. Congratulations to all of you. Our average sold price for all the offices across all 3 offices was $420,000 in 2025, which is up considerably from past years, where it's typically been between $300,000 and $350,000. So your sales volume is ticking. Your sold prices are ticking up as well. We ended the year with 817 closed ends for $327 million in total closed sales volume. So again, kudos and congratulations to all of them. Any questions? Questions on any of that? Comments? No? All right. December top producers. We had a lot. We don't have a list. You'll notice there's no top listing agent on there. December was not a super great month for everybody in the listing area. We had a lot of agents with 1 listing, 2, maybe a couple 2 listingers, but it was kind of a slow, that's what always happens in December, right? Sellers kind of pull back. They don't want to put their houses on the market between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So that's where we usually end up. So top closed sides for the month. If I can get these in order. We had literally 10 agents tied with 3 closings in the month of December. So congratulations to all of you. Everybody had a very strong month for the month of December to finish out the year. In second place with 5 closings was the J.C. Taylor home team. Congratulations. Okay. And then in first place with 6 closed sides was individual agent Bob Fry. And then top closed sales volume, we had in third place with 1.7 million for the month, David Buckman. In second place with 1.8 million, the J.C. Taylor home team. And then in first place with 2.5 million, this should be no surprise, Bob Fry. Great job. E-team top producers. We had, again, several agents that tied with 2 closings and or 2 contracts or a combination of both from the lead team programs. In second place with 4 closings, 1.3 million in sales volume, Casey Taylor. And then in first place with 1 closing, 3 contracts, 1.9 million in sales volume, Nick Anderson McIntosh. I'll give this to you later, Nick. And then our rookie of the month, with 3 closings, $800,000 in closed sales volume. That doesn't seem right because of the stat above, but our rookie of the month was Casey Taylor. That have to be not because above that it says she has 4 closings and 1.3 million on lead team. So congratulations to all of you, and cheers to an amazing 2026. I know I've done business planning with several of you. There's a lot of you I see out there that have not yet done it. Hopefully you're doing it on your own, but I'm happy to do it with you or help guide you through that. I can pull your stats. I can show you for the last several years how your stats have looked, what you did this year in everything from average sales price to number of sides closed, buyer and listing side. So I can give you all of your stats if you want them, if you don't already know what they are. And they're all broken down for you so that you can really kind of see what you're doing and where you're going, that trajectory. So just let me know. I'm happy to do that with you. So we do have with us today, I would like to introduce, for those of you who have not yet met them or didn't meet them at the last office meeting, from Legacy House Title, Sam and Katie, who are here to just introduce themselves and talk a little bit about what's going on with Title, with Legacy House Title. Welcome, guys.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, everybody. Oh, well, I've been up front. It was not this full when I came in. Good to see everybody. Again, I know most of you probably met me. We've talked on the phone. I'm just working around the corner in the office. So I'll be here pretty often, so always feel free to stop by. I do want to introduce Katie. This is Katie Patton.
Hi, everyone.
Last meeting I had Suzanne with me. That's also Suzanne Patton. Katie is Suzanne's daughter-in-law.
Yes.
So we're a very family-oriented company. But I wanted to bring Katie because she's done a few closings for a few of you, and she will be doing some more closings along the way. We also obviously have Casey that's going to be doing most of the closings in the office as well. But did want to bring Katie, kind of introduce her. She's, in our marketing department. She's a little bit like Suzanne, where she can do a little bit of everything. So she's a wealth of knowledge and a great resource as well. And I wanted to bring her on in also to just kind of introduce you to the team, because I know before most of you were working with the title company previously, and it was kind of like you had one person to go to. That can be a little challenging sometimes. So, Katie's part of our team. She's here to help us as well. We have a whole team behind us working on all your files. It's not just a one-man shop, one-woman shop doing everything. So with that said too, I did want to let everybody know we created a new distribution email, which is basically an email that's going to go to multiple people on the team that's working on all your files. It's just hi@legacyhousetitle.com. So when you have contracts, if you have questions, anything like that, send it to that email. because the processor who's working on it, whether it's Jenna or one of our other processors, you have days when, I'm sure you all have days like this too, when you're putting out fires or working on multiple problem files that are closing tomorrow. Well, one of you might have a question, or you might need something that you need that day. And if it's just going to one person, it might be a little tough for get back to you. So with this distribution email, you're going to have 4 or 5 sets of eyes on it. So whatever it is, you'll get a response right away. That's our goal with that. And, whether it's a contract, we'll confirm we got a contract, get it open. If it's a question about a file, if it's just a random question, if it's anything legal related, you can email me directly. That's fine. But if you could just try and use that Hyatt at Legacy House email, legacyhousetitle.com email, that would make our job a lot easier, and the response time to get back to you should be very, very quick. So if you want to start using that, that'd be great. And then we'll kind of still remind you as we go along. It's a little bit of a transition, so we'll get that figured out and worked out. I did kind of remind everybody, the vast majority of your closings will be here in the office. Our main office is in Frederick. We've done a few in Frederick as well. We do have an office in Pennsylvania too, up in the Hanover area, if anybody has any Pennsylvania closings. But we can close and service the whole state. So if you have closings, where people don't want to come into the office, it's too far away, that's not a problem. We can close anywhere, anytime, pretty much, right? So yeah, was there anything else Jim you want me to touch on? Okay. Oh, you know what? That's good because we were talking about the wire fraud.
Yes.
So, the wire fraud is definitely a big thing. Obviously, everybody touched on that a little bit at the beginning of the meeting. So within Qualia, we send all of our wire instructions, and anything that needs to be secure goes through Qualia. So we send those instructions to your buyers through Qualia. There's a note on the instructions. These will never change. They're calls to verify. But just, you can let your buyers know that the wire instructions from us will come through Qualia, and they won't change ever. Right. And our instructions have a little note that says that. It says to call if you have any questions. And we do ask buyers to call us to verify wire instructions as well. So yeah, so Qualia is great for that. It's all secure. When your buyers and sellers input information in there, it's all secure. It's not going anywhere. Any emails we send through there or documents we send through there, they'll always have access to them, so they can always log back in if they need to print off a copy of their Alta. If they need whatever they need, they'll always have access to that. So, and it's all secure. And the same thing with submitting EMDs. I touched on this last time as well. Buyers can submit EMDs directly through Qualia, just like they would deposit a check, a mobile check on their phone into their bank account, or they can link their bank account. There's multiple different ways. You can also send them wire instructions. They prefer to send the wire. 95% of people don't want to send wires. One, because there's a fee, $20 fee for them to send the wire. And it's more of a hassle where if they can just do it right on their phone, that's what they prefer. So a lot of stuff is done through Qualia. We prefer it that way because it is a secure platform. So it's great. But if anybody has any questions, and I know I've talked to a few of you about it, and the response I've been getting is, I love Qualia, I love Qualia, I love Qualia. The more you work with it, I would agree that it's by far the best platform for title companies out there. No questions asked. Did you have a question?
Not about quality, but I have a client who drop off our office. Can they drop that off here at this office?
They can if they want, and I can pick it up from Amanda, or Amanda can send it to us. Or we can send them a prepaid FedEx label. If they actually want to send a handwritten check, we can send a prepaid FedEx label and they can drop it FedEx to us. Just let us know. But if they want to drop off here, that's fine. I can always pick it up from Amanda. Yeah, so I'll be here. I don't have a set schedule when I'll be here, but I'll probably be here once a week or so. It might kind of, the days might just jump around depending on my schedule. But yeah, we're right around the corner in the hallway next to Keith and Terry and their offices. So yeah, I'll be here. Obviously, you all have my contact information. We have a great relationship with Amanda and with Aisha, with Sean. So, anything, it all comes back to me. All right. So any questions or anything, you can always reach out to me directly or pass along to Amanda, and she'll get with me as well. Yeah.
So we just send escrow deposits to
The EMD.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, where the direct upload. No, they can take a picture of it, like I said, or if they have a check. A lot of people don't have checks. Let me get about this today. A lot of his clients, he's saying, they don't even have checks. So that's fine too. You can just link your bank. So it's, you know, it's all through Stripe. So they just link their bank account, it deposit and it acts as an ACH and deposit into our account. Yeah, so there's multiple different options for EMDs. Like I said, 95% of people take advantage of, you know, the EMD through Qualia. It's nice for us too, because we get notified right away. I do want to point that out. We have some automation set up in Qualia. So like if somebody does submit an EMD, you'll get a message in Qualia saying EMD is being submitted and received. It's not going to include the escrow agreement. That is just to go out, and that goes out to you, the listing agent, the lender, the buyer, everybody. It's really just an automation to let everybody know that the EMD has been received. Once we get that, in the next day or two, you'll get the escrow agreement. It's usually the same day, because we get the notification as well. We try to get that out, but then you'll get the actual signed escrow agreement right after that, right? So when you get that email call you, don't freak out like, okay, you said you got it, but you didn't, you know, I need escrow agreement, you're not sending it. You know, that's just set up to let everybody know that it has been received. Yeah. So any other questions or anything? No? Well, I do want to thank Jim and Tina for having us in and give a round of applause for, and I'm sure Amanda was heavily involved in this too, but this office is amazing.
Beautiful. Congratulations.
It's an amazing job. Obviously, we go around to all the brokerages, we see all the offices. You guys are lucky to have this. You guys are lucky to have this. They did a really good job. So yeah, thank you, Jim and Tina, for putting this office together. Yeah, we're looking forward to a really, really good year. I know Keith and Terry are probably gonna come up here and talk about some good stuff in the market that's going on with interest rates and things like that. So I'm really excited to kind of hear what they have to say. But I think it's shaping up to be a really, really good year. Interest rates are coming down. And I think some more buyers will start getting the market. Hopefully the inventory picks up a little bit more so we can get a little bit of a balance. But yeah, I'm excited for all of you. I'm excited for all of you. Congratulations on the last year for being your best year. I didn't know that. That's
Congratulations.
especially the last couple of years, it's been a tough market. So
Yes.
the fact that you guys are growing in a tough market says a lot about all of you. So congratulations to all of you as well. Thank you.
I didn't get to say much, but I am available. I'm gonna leave my business card in the front, so if anybody needs to reach out to me, we're gonna talk. But you did touch on everything that we wanted to talk about. So, Sam really is like hands-on. He's in the office every day. He's not in your office, he's in our office and always working. So if you have questions, he really is gonna be the guy to help you get through any of your legal stuff. But the rest of the team is here to help you in any way that we can. We're here to help you be successful. We want to get you to the closing table as well. So, like I said, I'm gonna leave my business card. I'm happy to help. I am in the office as well. So if Jenna needs anything, let's dive in as well. So congratulations. Thank you for having me. I look forward to working with you. Thank you for having me. And
Wow.
it is his company.
No, I just wanted to throw it out because I've got a couple commercial related questions. So anybody has any commercial questions, feel free to reach out to me. I do, you know, we do probably one or so commercial deals a month. Yeah, so we're very well versed on them. But yeah, if anybody has any commercial questions, always feel free to come to me and I'll help out anywhere I can. All right.
Thank you.
And I did see a question in the chat that I know Amanda answered for Michelle, but it's good for all of you to know as well. The new ABA has been updated and is in .loop. It's labeled affiliated business agreement. It does have the fees, so the new title fees with Legacy House Title, they've been updated in there as well. So that is in .loop for you. So yeah.
So.
We weren't kidding, Katie.
So it's not how you got access or whatever you exposed, whatever you find, please make sure I take it out. Now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I would like to ask, so lending updates, Keith and Terry, if you guys would actually come up to the front, new office, new ways. But also so that our friends online can hear while we are still trying to figure out alternate AV solutions for for volume. So if you guys don't know these two already, shame on you. They're the best in the business. Keith Cooper, Terry Healy, DML.
Thank you. And thanks, Delphus is gorgeous. I told you guys that. And also give it up for them because, you know, Jim and Tina run our branch, our mortgage branch, and we were not even here for 9 months and we finished in the top 5 or 10 in the company. So kudos to them. I'm gonna be, I don't have much to say.
But one more thing.
But I sent out an email last week that, you know, if you want to go back to COVID, the government was buying mortgage-backed securities and they were driving the rates all the way down to all-time low levels. Well, our president, the president, whatever, just came out with a statement last week that he wants to make a full, you know, full pledge to buy 200 billion in mortgage bonds. So as soon as that announcement was made, like Terry and I were both sitting there and we were like, the bond market was down. It was another just whatever day. And all of a sudden the bond market is up like 35 basis points. So if you guys remember from my emails, when the bond market, the 30-year is up and the 10-year is down, that's very good for mortgage rates. So everything went gangbusters. And then the next day we had a very strong day. And then past couple of days, it's been kind of but this morning looked kind of good. So the moral is, long-term goal is hopefully all of this will come into fruition and the government, if they do step in, plan on seeing rates come down. Nobody knows when or where they're going to go. So give us a call if you have questions or if you had buyers that were on the fence. Remember, rates were almost pushing 8 like a year and a half ago. So everybody thinks that, you know, they're all the way down, which they have come down quite a bit. The average rate right now on a 30-year in the United States, I think is like 6.25, 6.3. So they have come down. They're not in the low fives with no cost or anything, but they have come down, and people that may not have been approved before, there's a good chance that, you know, they could be approved now. You figure a point in rate, you know, on a $300,000 or $400,000 loan amount is going to be probably a $300 difference, maybe more, depending on taxes and all that. But, you know, if you hear anything that sounds too good to be true, you know, give us a call. We can definitely answer any questions. Also, if you guys get buyers that have talked to other lenders and they did a soft pull, like I just had one the other day, I was told the buyer, you know, the credit was no good. They had a 601 credit score and they couldn't do anything. Well, we can pull soft pulls and get all 3 mortgage scores. So when I looked at the credit, yes, one of the scores was a 601. The other 2 were a 709 and a 659. So that lender not doing their due diligence just, you know, passed on a buyer that is eligible and able to buy. So just keep that in mind. If you have buyers that say my credit's too low, or I was told I can't do this, or I was told I can do this, you know, not everything is what everybody says. I see a lot of people calling and saying they were approved for X, and then you look at it and they're just not either approved, or, you know, I get good faith estimates or loan estimates now. The property taxes are wrong. Keep that in mind when you're looking at taxes. I don't care if it's on the MLS. You cannot obtain property taxes by looking at SStat. The only thing that's going to give you is the assessed value. Every county in Maryland, we're fortunate, has its own website. So if lenders aren't doing their due diligence or people are just going off of the listing, please call us because a lot of these current owners are getting pretty hefty credits that do not pass on. So just keep that in mind when you're talking with buyers and you're looking at properties. Make sure you have the right info before they're writing offers or thinking their payments at a certain level. But yeah, I mean, rates I think are gonna come down. Any products you guys want to do, DSCR, 203Ks, we can handle all that as well.
Yeah, just to Keith's point about the credit, we can also do credit rescores.
Yes.
I had a borrower that had a $900 balance on a credit card. We got him to pay it down to a $300 balance. It improved his score by like 40 points. He did not qualify prior. Once I did the rescore, then we qualified. So, and they're actually in process now and settling next month. And the other thing about soft pulls is if you pull a soft pull, we cannot use that for underwriting. So we pulled a soft pull on September 5th. And then September 30th, they want to go under contract. We re-pulled and they messed up and they missed the visa payment. Their score plummeted. So if we had pulled it September 5th and we were going under contract September 30th, there was a real full credit report, we could use that. We wouldn't have to re-pull. We wouldn't know that. So kind of keep that in mind because I always get these buyers that are like, well, just do a soft pull, just do a soft pull. And Keith can tell you we've had it where we've done the soft pull and then we did the hard pull and they were two different scenarios. So keep that in mind when you're talking to buyers.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that with the credit, look, I'm not a credit counselor. I don't claim to be, but I do know that 95, 99% of the time, we can have a conversation with somebody free of charge and tell them how to get their credit up versus people paying $200 a month, or half of these credit repair companies are actually telling your clients not to make payments on their credit cards, to go delinquent, to further damage their credit. That's what they're doing. So again, I had a buyer the other day, he told me he just paid off a car and his credit. I go, well, that actually will probably hurt your credit because now you've closed an installment loan. If he would have taken that money and paid his credit card down to 20% of the limit, his score would have gone up 100 points. Now he paid a vehicle off. That helps his debt ratio, but they didn't need help with that. Now the score might, go the opposite way. So people have misconceptions on how they're going to get their credit up and everything. Let us talk to them because, again, a lot of times it's just, even if somebody is a little bit over on the limit on the credit card, it's just getting it under the limit and that'll raise them 30 points. So a lot of times it doesn't take a lot of money to get scores up. And I've been seeing a lot of that too lately, where we can get these people rescored and they're ready to go. And just so you know, once we get the documentation for the rescore, we can have that credit up in 3 to 4 business days. All right. We don't have to wait a whole nother cycle or 40 or 60 days. We can do it right away.
Yeah, we just need the documentation to show that they made that payment. We send it in and we do a street score. And it doesn't cost the buyer anything, which is kind of nice. It costs us, unfortunately, but the buyer does not have to pay for that. So, and sometimes a rescore can be a couple $100. So just kind of keep that in mind that we can do that. We run a simulator that says that if I pay down this Visa card and not this one, it'll bring my score here. If I pay both of them, it'll bring my score here. So we can run different scenarios to see what the best thing is. What are you all seeing with offers and price escalations? I'm starting to see that again, especially in the $500,000 to $800,000 range.
Yeah, I had one the other
Everybody's
day.
seeing that,
Yeah, there was multiple offers.
which is good for us for a good spring market, right?
But just remember, like I just had one, there was 4 offers on a listing and we just agreed to pay all transfers and pay the 0.5% of the agent's commission and ended up getting the deal. So I'm not saying the pendulum is swung, but the spring's coming, just refresh your skills on how to get creative on making your offer look as strong as it might. And a lot of times you don't need to go through the moon to get the house. It's just a matter of what the seller's looking to net. The more money in the seller's pocket, better your offer looks. So just please, reach out if you need any help with stuff like that as far as structuring goes. And oh, sorry, yeah, Jeff.
Credit card would tell you their credit card, 30% below month. And you said 20, is that a different tier of benefit?
Yeah, I mean, it could be 10 to 20 points in credit. I mean, everybody used to think 50% was the magic number. I usually find that if you get them at or below 20 to 25%, besides paying it to zero, don't ever have your clients close accounts. If they want to pay it down to zero, fine. Do not have them close credit cards. Unless they need to free up debt ratio, do not have them pay off vehicles. Because again, there's a difference between revolving debt, installment debt. Anytime you open or close an installment debt, like a car or a personal loan, that will ding your credit. Revolving debt, on the other hand, you can play with that. You can pay them down and it'll really help credit. But don't ever let anybody tell you that paying off. I've had lenders tell people, pay off your car and your score will go up 100 points. No, you pay off your car, your score won't move except maybe go down.
Because what's happening is when you pay that off, you're losing that credit history on that account.
Right. So you're closing out an account. Or when you open it, it's the same thing as if when you open an account, when you close it, that's why you always hear us say, don't close it. You can pay it down, just don't advise people to close accounts out.
And then kind of keep in mind, Jeff had mentioned Credit Karma. The scores that we pull versus what the consumer's pulling on their end can be totally two different things. So keep that in mind. So in a bar, you talk to a borrower and they say, well, I pulled Credit Karma and I have a 690 credit score. And then they go to contract and we pull their credit and then they have a 620. Everybody's freaking out where, what happened is because those scores are based on consumer and the mortgage scoring tier is a little bit different.
Yeah, I had a guy yesterday told me his scores were like 660, 670 when I pulled it. It was like a 609, a 618, and a 579. And the scores reflect not a pretty credit report, but the report itself wasn't that bad. His problem was he had 3 credit cards that were completely maxed and one of them was over. So again, that's why Credit Karma, it's looking at different algorithms, whether it's a soft pull, hard pull, medium pull, it's all BS, excuse my French, because Credit Karma, all they're looking at is like Terry said, consumer spending. They're looking at on-time pay. Mortgage lenders are looking at different algorithms. They're looking at utilization on credit debt. They're looking at, different collections or charge-offs. So again, when someone says Credit Karma, it's kind of in one out the other. Unless they tell me they have no credit card debt, then it might resemble, but you just got to be careful with that. Oh, hey, Michelle.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, good. I was just going to piggyback off of what you and Terry were saying with the credit repair or credit counseling. It's also really good to know like why you're steering someone away from credit counseling. And what these people do is they take over all of your bills and you start a monthly payment to them. So like some people are really jacked up and have tons of credit, right? Some people might just could clean things up with like 3 or 4 things, but you might start paying them like $1,000 a month. They take over your 10 credit cards. And like Keith and Terry just said, they'll tell you to stop paying them. That ups their negotiating power with the credit card companies because now you're showing that you've entered untimely payments, like you're not paying anything. So while they're collecting the $1,000 a month from you, let's just say that's your monthly payment to them. You're thinking, oh, great, I only have to pay them $1,000 because I was spending $1,500 a month. They're not doing anything. And then boom, they go in for the kill about 3 months later. And it's big money and it's like used car salesman sales, right? So they go in about 3 months later when you look like you're entering 90 days late on all of your stuff. Now they go in for the kill, and that's when they start their negotiating. So you probably could have cleaned something up by just calling Keith or Terry and saying, and them telling you, like, hey, let's pay off this credit card, get 20 points. Let's do this and put you in a better debt ratio, or just something small. But you really want to pull these people away from credit counseling or credit repair, because there's like a big difference. When Keith and Terry say credit repair, they're just talking about cleaning up one or two bills. These other people, they put you in such a hole, and that payment might be for like the next year or two, depending on how much you're cleaning up. So it's just really good to know why you're steering them away, to tell the people, because you don't want to set fear in them, but it's pretty scary what they do. It's big money. They make big money on you before they even start negotiating your bills. I just wanted to tell people that, because as soon as somebody says, oh, I need a little credit counseling, boom, pull them away from it as quickly as possible.
And a lot of times their credit, believe it or not, was actually pretty decent. And then the credit repair company's telling them, okay, we'll fix this, just stop paying. And then they'll collect the money and they'll start distributing it one card at a time. Meanwhile, these other cards are 30 days late every month. So just, yeah, be careful of that. Anybody else have any questions before we go?
Where do you see the rate possibly after the announcement as far as where could you potentially see the
I would hope that rates end up coming down, hopefully around 5, maybe high 4s. I mean, look, if they continue to keep buying, I mean, again, anytime the Fed speaks or the news is on, it can wave the market. So, but hopefully, you know, we've been hanging around this low 6 mark for a little while. We just need a few good days, I think. I mean, it can really move the market. It doesn't take much. So just like it doesn't take much for it to hurt it, it doesn't take a lot for the market to really improve. So I have a lot of people sitting on the fence. I had 2 guys call me about a VA refinance. One owes over $1 million, the other owes 700. And again, a half a point in rate will probably save them $300-400. So it's just that waiting game.
How about there's folks that are sitting at 3% and they got cabin fever because they've been there and really need to get out?
That's a good question. Well, that's a good question, because I've talked to a lot of buyers, and people that are in the 2s and 3s, when rates are 7 and 8, they don't care if they got 10 kids with 3 bedrooms. They're not going anywhere. But now when rates come back down to a normal market, which, look, let's face it, a normal market is upper 4s, low to mid 6s. Now they're like, okay, we're not going to do that, but we can handle this. Plus, the equity those people have with the 2s and 3s, because they bought or refied in 2021, the equity they have is going to make up for the difference in rate. So again, you got to think the whole puzzle through, and you got to know how to talk to them, because they know they're busting at the seams, but they also have enough sense to know that they got that rate because not just Maryland or the US, the whole world was in, you know, it was COVID. It was a national crisis. So people kind of understand that more so today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. I'm still on point. So a couple things. Great job last year, everybody, on Zillow. If you didn't hear it from the last meeting, we exceeded any other year we've ever had on the Zillow platform in volume. So congratulations. Pat yourselves on the back. Great job. One of the funny things is, like, 2022, we did 240 transactions. Last year we did 197, but our volume was higher. So you guys are doing less transactions, but making more money. Who doesn't like that part? I sure as heck do. Less work, more money, always a good thing. Some big stuff's going on, you guys. If you have not been in the meetings, you might not know. We have started an HSA program where we are reaching out. We have callers calling possible sellers out in the area and offering them some options for selling their homes. So that is bringing in new leads. So My Zillow haters out there, don't worry, we got other options for you. So there's lots and lots going on with that. We also are installing a new AI program. So if you guys have not been on, go on your computers, not right now, please, but go on to highiq.io. They have really neat demos on there. We actually played around with the demos like live, and I got on. Yeah. Right. It's already being offered. Don't go paying for it yourselves. That would just be silly. So we have it. It's being set up. It's a lot of fun. If you go on, you can do the demo. So I got on and I got to talk to the AI person as if I was a seller and buyer, and it was absolutely amazing. Don't give them anything weird like 555 because you might trip them up, as we learned. But it's really cool. Like, guys, you can hear her take a breath. It really feels like you're talking to a human. I think it would probably take me a few minutes to figure out that it was not a human. If I were on the other end, if I didn't know and I had hit the button and was playing there myself. But that's coming out. They're going to be calling up leads for us. They're going to be hitting our nurtures. They're going to be trying to get us new leads off of Meta. So we have this whole system being built out. It's working. We have it launching in the next couple of weeks. So we are finding any way to bring you guys leads from any source that we can. We're trying to really build up that lead source so it's not just all coming from one place. If you haven't forgotten, Opcity is still an option, guys. That's still there. There's still a lot out here. But what's really cool about this High IQ program is you guys can opt in. It's going to launch all these different advertisements out on the internet. It's going to bring leads in, and then the agents that have opted into this program, it is going to drop leads in your inbox for you guys. So from there, you guys are going to start calling them and doing your thing, but it's just more ways to get you guys leads. They're going to be at a different split. So it's not going to be that 40% being taken away by Zillow or Opcity. It's going to be a little bit different, but all it is more opportunity for you guys. It's more ways for you guys to make money. It's more ways to find different kinds of lead sources because we just never know what's going to happen out there. So if you haven't inquired about it, if you haven't been in any of the meetings, reach out to me or Jim and we can lead you to that so you can see the demo for yourselves and decide if it's something you guys want to buy into and get your own leads your own way that you can work without the Zillow Daddy's looking over everything you're doing, including myself. I will back off you a little bit if they're your own leads. So give that a shot. Thank you guys. If you need anything, please reach out. And seller team, I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Just a little bit more detail on that program, and if you want to touch on it too. It's an individual agent opportunity. So each of you will have the opportunity to buy into and buy your own leads from this AI program that we are onboarding with. So we're doing the front end, paying to onboard with this company, sign up with them and get them all of our information. And then each agent, each one of you, if you want to, can choose to do a monthly spend with them. And basically the way it works, the minimum is $500 an agent. And what you get for 150 of that goes to them to implement the AI program. And then 350 of it is Meta ad spend. So of your money, 350 of your dollars is going out. They do the creative, they do the lead call. You want to touch on it more?
Well, they'll go into it and they know I'm going to be who's highest intent seller, move up, buyer, all that kind of good stuff. With this program, it's your lead program, right? So it's, you spend the money for it, grab your self-generated splits, you can scale it. Once you have, so if you want to go and buy the AI tool directly, you can. It's $500 a month without anything. So you can certainly go to this website and do it yourself. Or get a part of this program, get the leads, and then have the tool. So you'll have the tool to do whatever you want with it. The big thing is it's got to be anybody who opted in. So somebody who went to a website, somebody's in a database. If you can't use it for like cold prospect, so there's FTP rules, FCC rules, whatever. It's $5,000 per fine, per person that you call that's not opted in. So it's very hefty fine on how you use this tool since AI calls. But you can use it for so many different things. We have so many different plans with it. But you just think about, I was talking to Daryl about this earlier. He's got 10 years of a book of business that he he can keep up with only so much, but if you had somebody or a system, the number one, the AI through text messages, it can set up different dialogues and responses. The crazy part about this is they know how to answer the questions and they know how to set the appointment and transfer over. Like if you're relocating and you're selling in one state by another, like, okay, we'll have an agent call you, from this state, it's just crazy how it works and actually does all the work until it's ready to set the appointment. I'm sure you guys have been on the other end of it, right? So you've kind of had, sometimes sometimes you don't, but these calls are insane. Like to listen to it, the tonality changes, you can hear the breaths, and the way they handle the call, I'm like, we should probably use this as a training program, how to respond to these calls. So that's something you guys can utilize. It's a tool. If you have your own lead spend, if you do your own Zillow, whatever it is, you can use this tool to contact those leads. The meta stuff, look, I've been doing lead generation. Shouldn't have given it before. So I've been doing lead generation for about 18 years, right? And you look at, it started with, it's been something that's been in the works, and Zillow's kind of figured it out, right? So when it finally gets to Zillow, they're clicking on, I want to see this home now at 3 to 3:30. So that's the most highest intent lead they can get. That's why they're $800, $2,500 per lead of those leads. If you want to buy, the pages know that very well, right? So, however, when it first started, lead generation came in, it was a funnel. Yeah, this funnel, people go into Google, I want to search for homes in Howard County. Then it's Howard County, 4 to 500. Then it's bedrooms. So the funnel keeps going like this until they finally say, okay, I want to see this home. That conversion rate was less than 0.5%, because what would happen, it would force you to a website. Then you would see a picture or two, and then what would it do? What would it make you do to see the next picture? Put your information in. And people most of the time put fake information in, or when you called them, after they put their information, they got mad. I mean, Jeff has been around. He remembers those kind of leads that we used to get. It was like, why are you calling me? What are you doing? So, and then once you have that taste for lead generation, you're kind of like, I don't want to do it anymore. So one of the big factors is, that's the hard part. Like one of the things that we've learned over time is we've tried to do call nights. We've tried to do all the things. But what, has anybody been involved with a call night that we've done before? Do we get appointments from them? No, every single time. Imagine if you did that every day, you know what I mean? But we don't, right? So we just have to understand and know that we're going to do what we do and try to convert the people who are in front of us. That's our power, face-to-face belly stuff. The follow-up stuff is really not our superpower. It really isn't, right? So what do we need to kind of create that, right? What do we have to do to have something do that for us? But it actually is something that works, right? So the AI, the way it kind of follows up, and we're onboarding, we're going through all the processes now. But they can actually get people that are like 2 years ago, they were, what, you just closed one, what, 2-3 years ago they came in?
And then I see touch with them over the years and they close this back up with me, and I've done one that's back looking at houses and I've been in touch with them for probably about 3 months.
Yeah, and there's people who 2-3 years out that didn't buy a house, right? There are people that just came in 3 years ago, but now they're ready, right? So now you have to get on their radar. But if you're not doing some kind of if you just put on an email drip campaign, I mean, how many of us have opted out of that? It's like, okay. But if you actually had intelligent kind of communication back and forth, and you had intelligence that actually figured out algorithms where there's buying signals, like, okay, this person's going to the website, this person's saving homes. If you had something that actually did that for you, are you going in every day and checking that? Let's be honest with ourselves. Like, how many of us are doing that, right? Yeah. We know because we see it on the other side, so we can track it. But imagine if you had something that the people that were ready keyed it back up to you. So when I talk about the funnel, there's that funnel. Maybe some people are years out, but we want to get them here. Our superpower is when we get them here, they want to see a home, and you can get in front of them, and then you build relationships. You do all the things. I mean, here we've been with lead generation with us the whole. That's why he started with us to run our lead generation programs. We had Realty Generator.
Yeah.
And they go back and any database I have.
Yep.
And pick those people and then start calling those people.
You upload them.
But do we need to, how does it work with giving them all that information? Is it just, hey, here's the painting?
No. Yeah, we upload it.
I can you would send here in certain order, and once it has that information, we can upload the whole CSV file to their system, and then it is
All right, so it's fairly easy, you know, there's some
It is
steps.
very deep, but like.
Yeah.
have to be very careful that it's not just somebody in your database, somebody that has
Right,
opted in because they want to what company pressures because.
Yeah.
And if they're in your database as client, they are valuable. Yeah.
There's so many spam calls now, so if someone doesn't know to our client, we may not be able to.
It is a variety of text messages, and actually the numbers do kind of change, so they don't have a set number that picks up as spam. But look, you're gonna have a majority of people who don't want to take a phone call. You know, majority, you know, like it's just a lot of it's generational, right? So some people, you know, prefer phone calls. So, you know, look, I can tell you, we've been beta testing some things, and you know, I geek out on lead generation and business development, all that kind of stuff. So I'm always kind of testing waters and bringing stuff to Tina. She's like, okay, that'll work. That's not a great idea. That's stupid. You're old. So no, I'm saying she said I'm old. No. But it's a good balance of that because but anyway, some of these things we do. So we started a call with there's 20 buy data, 20,000 high potential sellers, paid-off properties, tired landlords, estate sales, whatever. And then we had these dialers call that were really not great. I mean, they're kind of really bad actually. So we listened to those calls, they tagged the recorded calls, and they still out of 20,000 names, they still got over 100 leads to us a month. Now those 100 leads will probably get 3 to 4 listings, right? So it's all a numbers game. You know, it's all the it's funnels and all that kind of stuff, just like Zillow has. So Zillow has been a good trainer for us for all that stuff to kind of build these programs. So with that data, now that we have 100 opt-ins, even though they are really bad calls, now we have AI kind of touch base with them, through different facets. And then when they're actually ready to key up to talk to an agent, that's when it gets it over to us. And it says, are you ready to talk to a live agent? Or are you ready to, see a home or make an appointment? And I can tell, like, if you listen to these calls, 9 out of 10 times,
They're insane.
calls.
They're insane. Yeah, I know exactly. It's constantly, and I was asking them questions yesterday, like, can you gear, or Monday, whatever the day was, can you gear the voice of the person, the AI bot talking to the lead's disc personality style? Because like they were going through some different voices, male, female, bubbly, loud, chippers, and what appealed to Ruth Ann was a very different voice, right? Was a very different AI bot speaker than what appealed to me or to Amanda. And so, and I'm paying attention to that, and I'm like, and he said, we're working on that. He said, I don't know that we'll be able to skew it to a disc personality assessment, but we'll be able to adjust it based on how they speak and adjust the voice of the AI bot to how the lead is. That's insane.
We'll be sending out robots to do the listing.
Yeah, right, exactly, pretty much. But I mean, this company this is cutting edge stuff. And so, the goal of this is to help you guys do more business, close more deals, connect with more people, and bring you lead sources. Like Ruth Ann said, we're trying to find and create our own proprietary lead sources that aren't reliant on Zillow, right? Zillow is kind of like the puppet master, right? We love you, we hate you. You're on, you're off. You're disengagement, you're engaged. Or you're number 2, but you're in disengagement. I don't know how that happens. But it's exhausting and it's emotionally stressful for us. I know, you guys see a small part of it, but it's great. It's a great supplemental tool for your business, but it comes at a high cost, right? So Jim's been working for months, years probably, on building out the HSA program, which Ruth Ann mentioned. To explain what that is called, Hyatt Seller Advantage is the program. And that's what we have. How many? 20,000 calls a month or something crazy?
Dollars were really hard. I listened to these calls, but they still got 100 people staying on the phone. Yeah, I had 4 conferences.
So bad.
And really, really, really bad. So we started researching calling companies. See, here's the problem. When you have a list of 20,000 names, you can't use the AI tool. It's illegal to use AI for cold calling. So those lists of 20,000, we could escalate 40, 60,000. We can buy how much ever data we want. However, how do you get through 20,000 contacts?
You don't, as quickly as possible.
Well, you got to hire callers abroad. You got to hire mass telemarketing call companies.
speed dials, go through the
Yeah.
4,000 to get so many people on the line to actually then agree to an appointment. So out of 20,000 contacts in a month, we had 105, whatever was agreed to have somebody call them. And these calls were, I mean, just a quick example, there was a call where the dialer called and asked him, why you want to sell. And he said, I would sell anything for the right price, and giggled. Like, I would sell anything for the right price. And the guy, and the caller says, why are you laughing? Like, mad, got offended. And then he goes, excuse me, he goes, why are you laughing? Yes. I was like, and the guy still was like, okay, that's why he called me. Right. So what that, as we were kind of going through this, we have these recorded, it's crazy. But what it made me realize was the data is good. Like there's a lot of people out there. So if you think about it, like how many times do you see like wholesalers get a contract, right? How many wholesale contracts are out there? They just got to them first and had that conversation. Like we can get in front of these wholesalers and give them 3 options. So our HSA program is Hyatt Seller Advantage, right? So that's what we tagged it. It's HSA for short. Basically what it is, and I've had to build a list of contractors, a list of investors that are ready to buy in 2 weeks, train agents to understand how to get in front of the seller and have a conversation. So basically, what we're doing is we're trying to get in front of the potential seller, give them 3 options. Here's your cash now price for 2 weeks. If you want to sell it 2 weeks as is, leave your crap in there. We got it. 2 weeks, no settlements or no inspections. That's that price. You're going to have some people, all the people that agree to wholesale contracts, they're like, okay, that's what I want. But a lot of times, those wholesalers get in front of people like, there's no way I'm going to take that for that. The Smiths down the street got X amount. And we're like, okay, well, the Smiths down the street had all these renovations, it was basically a flip home. I know you don't have the resources to do that, or maybe you do, maybe don't. But however, we have contractors and we have funding that will actually fund this construction prior to settlement, and then you just pay it at settlement, right? So we can do that, and we'll get this number. However, it's going to take 6 to 9 months to get there. It's going to take this much to fund the project, or we can go in the middle. We can list your house as is, or we can list it with a little bit of paint and carpet, and you can sell it maybe in 2 months, 3 months, versus 6 months, and your delta really is only about 10 or 15,000 if you take all the cost of construction and time and everything else to sell it here. So you're given 3 options. We're trying to push them in the middle. Just list it as is, maybe a little bit of improvements, and go that direction if they don't want to take the other 2. So that's kind of the program in a nutshell. There's some skill sets involved as far as understanding how much a renovation would cost, how much the value it costs to give a cash offer in 2 weeks, those kind of things, and have your investors lined up ready to kind of jump on it. So that's what we've been working on. It's taken some time. Had to find out where to get the data. Some wholesalers that actually do 100 flips a year. These wholesalers are getting 100 flips a year, 100 opportunities that say yes, and it's like, how come I don't have agents that can get 10 opportunities to list it for more than market value? So it's like, I knew it was out there. I knew there was a way to do it. Just had to figure it out and find it, and that's what we've been working on, and now it's all coming together. So yesterday we had 3 dialers. That there's more of a guarantee with this new dialing system, like they do it for a lot of wholesalers and actually other real estate companies. So that's who started on it, and then we're going to implement the AI on top of that to make sure the sellers are ready to actually have a conversation. So all the stuff we're working on behind the scenes.
We've also, to add on to that, once we get the program to the right point, and the dialers and the callers and everything, we also are working with a marketing company that we're friends with that owns a print marketing company that does mass direct mail. Like, so, there's goals. We have big goals for this, and the whole goal is to bring you guys more business, to bring you guys more listings, because I know Marissa had a very interesting experience back in December, I guess, November or December. Do you mind me sharing? She came to me with this question. She got this referral from an agent out in Arizona that sent her a referral for a seller here in Brooklyn. And there was a guy involved, basically a wholesaler. So it's basically a wholesaler from Arizona that had never met the seller, that was just like mass calling or lead calling, picked up this seller. They wanted to sell fast, move fast. And this wholesaler guaranteed her like all, the set price, I guarantee you this much money, to sell it's gonna close in what, 30 days or something, 60 days?
I think it was 90.
90 days. So she thought it was going to close super fast. She thought it was a done deal. Like, this is it. He's buying it for me. This is how much I'm walking away from. Well, no, like she didn't read the wholesaler contract. Not only that,
She didn't realize she did think it was
fast. She thought it was going to be like immediate, like 30 days. But she didn't read the contract. It was like a 4-page wholesaler contract that, come to find out, because Sam reviewed it for Marissa and helped Marissa through this conversation. And it's still kind of ongoing, but this woman signed not a power of attorney. What was it called? Authorization to communicate? Attorney in fact. Which she signed. It wasn't notarized. Like, that's not even legally binding to transfer title in Maryland. The contract from the wholesaler didn't even abide by the new Maryland wholesale contract law that states certain things that have to be disclosed to the seller in writing. It was a nightmare. The whole thing was a mess. Bottom line, this is a seller here local in Maryland that was just desperate and wanted to sell and needed to sell their house fast and didn't understand. Signed up with some guy in Arizona that she never even met, maybe through Zoom, and gave him attorney in fact privilege, whatever that is good for. So there are people out there that, and now Marissa met her, built a relationship with her. She wants to move forward and work with Marissa to list and sell her house on the open market. Now that she fully understands, just because she was asking questions of Marissa, that, Marissa's trying to help her.
Side note, probably I'm for her house first, so
For hers.
for her, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so from her, so I will let you know the details.
So that scenario, I think where the team's going with that is,
Single family.
Yeah.
Something like that. You know what football particle?
Yeah, it's
I'm very.
oh, okay. No, it's not closer to the city. So it's more like.
Like Marble Garden.
Yeah, yes, yeah, yes.
So my point with that is, if we can be the one getting to that person locally before some guy, random scammer guy, stealer money guy in Arizona gets to this poor woman, and then we can hand that back over to you guys as a listing lead to list on the MLS. That's the goal. That's where we're trying to go with this.
we have the data we're trying to figure out. Make sure we get it to you. And go that, you can get in front of her, present those options. So if you would have met with her with those 3 options up front, she'd be in a lot better place.
Mm-hmm.
What's the criteria to get those things?
Yeah, we're refining our system to make sure we put out good quality and volume leads, so we have a small team on there. Right now, the beta team is basically, we're testing it to see what the cadence of communication has to be, the other things. What's gonna be really helpful when we can actually scale it is when AI can follow up to actually get the phone itself. So.
But and listing experience, there's going to be a certain level of listing experience required from agents that are going to launch on that program, because you are, like Jim said, you're going to have to be able to go in and not just talk about how you're going to list and sell their home at market value, but what a renovation would look like, what it would need, possibly what the anticipated budget would be for a renovation, and what the below market price would be. You know what I mean, to sell it now, cash offer, and be able to come up with those options for them.
But I got a question about the we are working on that right now. I will tell you a couple requirements that we do have. We need to see what the presentation. We need to see that couple together. How to speak to a seller. Like Tina said, some listing experience. I can't just hand these off to somebody that hasn't done like at least 4 or 5. And then notes, I will be looking at follow-up off. Like, I need to see that you guys are gonna cut these leads down. It's not like I'm gonna call them once and they didn't pick up, so I'm just gonna put them on a drip campaign and hope for the best. Like, you gotta see that you guys are really gonna work it, because as you guys know, when somebody's calling you, do you always answer it the first time and remember to call them back? I know, I sure as heck don't. So like somebody that calls you 4 or 5 times a week, oh yeah, there they are calling again. I'm really gonna make sure I answer the call this time. Like, you need to see a lot of hustle for these. It can't just be like, oh, I tried them and they didn't answer, so I'm gonna let it go. We gotta see a hard hustle for on the team.
And professionalism, right? Like elevating yourselves. I think a lot, there's a lot of kind of fly by the seat of our pants, and maybe we don't necessarily have professional presentation materials, how we professionally do or present our listing package, our listing presentation. I know some of you have gone out and hired, like Teresa Bader, for example, to do amazing professionally printed, Michelle has them, Marissa has them, professionally printed buyer and seller brochures, pamphlets, packets, marketing materials to represent yourself. I know, Carolyn, I know a lot of you print, you know, really nice 4-page glossy marketing materials for your listings when they go active, brochures, right? Investing in yourself, investing in your marketing, investing in how you're presenting not just yourself, but the company is key also, right? Not just walking into a listing presentation like, hi. Practicing, role playing, having professional marketing materials to represent yourself, right? All of those things matter because this is, you know, we're trying to take your business to the next level. You guys need to bring your business to the next level as well.
It is follow-up. So when this started back in late November, I think it was. So that was during all the holidays. Nobody wanted to do anything. So yesterday I was for follow-up calls and finally I was like, well, this will be my second. But yeah, you definitely gotta follow up.
Oh, yes. You have to help, but we have. Nice.
The goal is to get it to like, you know, when we were, you know, mid-year, whatever, and we were getting 400 or 500 leads a month for Zillow, for buyer leads, my goal was to get 400 or 500 seller leads. I'd love to be seller lead focused. I know buyer leads, you know, Zillow has built a lot of careers in this company, right? So, you know, we were talking about this the other day. Zillow is probably 15% of our company business, but it's actually been the career starter for 85% of our agents, right? So it's really something that we utilize to help agents kind of get launched off the ground to get going. I mean, I did this survey. I'm like, how many of you guys would still be in the business if you didn't have Zillow? You didn't have Zillow. And it's a lot of agents. If you don't have something, if you don't have buyers to go show homes, you know, to right away, doors to open, offers to write, contracts, settlements. If you don't have that within the first like 6 to 9 months of real estate, a lot of people kind of check out. Like, all right, I can't, you know, I've lost the wind in my sails. I can't do this. And that's typically how real estate is. It's usually 6, 9 months, a year before you really get anything going or have people that are in your database finally start to like know and see that, remember that you're in business to start getting those referrals. Or you're doing a bunch of open houses, you're doing door knocking, you're doing all the stuff that, you know, traditional real estate agents used to do. So we're trying to figure out a way to bring you guys value, bring you tools. Like we want to see a bunch of signs in the yards. The best marketing that you can have is a sign in the yard and a tool to market yourself to get other business. But once you start having that, that's what we said this the other day. It's old saying, he or she who lists lasts. Like the listing, the inventory is everything. You know, everybody's kind of getting started in this business with buyers, and it's great. You build your skills and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you really want to be a listing agent because you think about it, you can control your time a lot better. Right? Because if you're out showing homes to a buyer for like, my record was 2 years. You know, I showed a buyer homes for 2 years, a lot of weekends. She became a really good advocate. She was hired in the police department. I got a ton of referrals from it. So, you know, that kind of was the benefit of it. But if you have a listing, you set a listing appointment, use some marketing, use photos, and have some phone calls and negotiating, you can a lot better utilize your time if you're able to kind of focus on listings. And you become known as a good listing agent. So that's kind of like where we're trying to go with it. And I think we've cracked the code, and now we just have to figure out how to tweak it and just make it better. So that's what we're working on.
Perfect segue into list. Yeah, Bobby.
Probably sounds pretty foolish.
No.
With the really looking develop here. So I've been doing this 14 months. I would not sound like good listing. Okay.
Nice. Great job.
Whatever. That's not all. Thank you. No. I'm doing it there like you did. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Not exactly like that, but you know what I'm saying. So for anybody who's been doing this less than 2 years that doesn't have a sibling that's been doing it a while or a spouse that's been doing it a while, what can we do to up our game to like get these cool marketing materials and things like that? Like, I'd like to come in and see a hands-on presentation and just watch. Like, have a role
How
play
many-
go on.
Yeah,
She said, I am going
We
in there
can
with
do that.
Shannon, and I don't wanna say winging it, but because I'm
Yeah.
pretty good in front of somebody when I get in front of them.
yeah,
It's just, but I wanna be that level, like,
yeah.
I wanna know, what do I need to bring? What should I have in my package? What should it look like?
Maybe what I'll do is, what I can do is for the February, whether it's the office meeting or a training class, I'll put, because the January calendar is already set, I'll put a class or on the office meeting for that. I can have, you guys, I'll ask people that have professional materials that they've created to bring them in, to bring in samples of their listing presentation. We can kind of do a show and tell.
I wanna see it built, I wanna see.
Yeah, I mean, we can do a class. Yeah, I mean,
When I got onboarded and we did the shadow open house, after that, I had the same problem. I was like, I haven't seen anything. Listen, I mean, I had some.
yeah, thank
I
you.
would recommend
And,
that.
yep, and
You
so
can see that in office. You can literally see that done.
we can, but it's hard. It's really hard to, yeah, so, yeah, so what Ellie just said is on point, meaning your listing presentation, once you get really good at doing a listing presentation and you understand DISC assessments, that's really important, is studying up on DISC, because you're going to gear your listing presentation 4 different ways. If I'm talking to a D personality style, my presentation is going to be 1 speed, 1 tone, 1 goal. If I'm talking to an S or a C, it's going to be twice as long or 3 times as long. It's going to be slower. It's going to have a very different purpose and goal in mind, right? So thank you for pointing that out. Like, there's going to be 4 different types of ways.
That's basic. Well,
No, I mean, it is, but it's not basic. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that that's what I would recommend. So we'll do a panel where we'll do some, I mean, we can do role play if anybody's willing to come up and role play your presentation. The D, right? Yeah, yeah. And you could like speed dating. That would be fun. But then I would also, guys, I would also recommend for, especially if you're a newer agent that hasn't done very many, shadow some of our experienced agents. My experienced listing agents in the room, raise your hand if you don't mind a newer agent coming along and shadowing you on a listing presentation. Thank you. David, you don't have to raise your hand if you don't want to. But I mean, there's several, but what you can do, guys, that private Facebook group, put it in there. Put it in there that you're looking to shadow somebody on a listing presentation. You know, does anybody have any coming up? And people will grab it, people will comment on it, and there's several people in the room that have no problem letting you shadow along. What's that? Yeah. And that's honestly the best way to learn how to do it, is to see it being really done. Because there's different things, like we can practice and role play objection handling. I mean, we used to put role play classes on the calendar pretty much every month with a different topic. Can I tell you how many of you showed up for it? None. You guys don't like role play, right? So that's the best way to learn, is because there's going to be objection handling, right? There's going to be negotiations and conversations about compensation and personality differences, and you're going to have difficult personalities, and you're going to have, hesitant person. So
that's understanding mechanics of sales. So I'm talking about like
right,
what they're bringing,
what they're showing, how they're doing it, and we can do that. So I teach that. I've taught that usually a couple times a year, how to do a listing presentation. Yeah, but so we can do that. I'll put something on. We'll do a show and tell. We'll bring in your materials. Everybody that has got materials can bring them in, and you can bring in and present how you do it. Some of you do listing boxes with cards, some of you do listing binders, so like you guys do it all different ways, brochures or booklets. So you all have a different way that you do it. Yeah.
The thing that makes you good is trial.
Yeah.
I did
Right.
a sale by owner estate. I had to figure it out, and I tried everything. everything underneath the sun. And the only way I got good at it was just trial there.
Yeah, but it's also copycat, right? It's R&D. So, you know who, when you guys walk into, if you've gone into an open house for your clients or with your clients, there are certain agents out there that are top listing agents in Howard County, right? We know who they are, or in every county. I'm sure every county has one. And when I tell you their marketing, their presentation, everything from the moment that they make a listing interview call, pre-interview call, to the listing appointment, to the marketing that they're implementing, the brochures that they're creating, the way that they're holding their open house is next level. Every single time, right? There's a reason why they are the top. There's a reason why they are at the level that they are at. It's predictable, it's professional, and it is on point every single time. Yes. So observe, right? Look, see what you see. When you go out to when you go out to show a house and you see the really nice glossy, no matter the price point, flyers with their marketing and everything, do you think your clients aren't noting that? Right? And especially if your buyer is a seller that you have listed and they go into an appointment to see a property and it's got this gorgeous glossy flyer, pamphlet, brochure with a packet of information printed and a little sign and all the extras, and you've got their house listed and you've got none of that, do you think that they're not noting and paying attention to that? So then when they call and say, well, why isn't my house selling? And you say it's because of price, I'm going to say, no, I don't think it is. Is it more than just price, right? So it's all of those things. You guys see it out there. You see what your competitors are doing. R&D, right? Level it up. But we can help. I can help. That's my background is in marketing and design. I'm happy to help you with creating this stuff. I've helped several of you with creating your listing packets. Ruth Ann has helped create listing packets. No, professionally ordered and printed and not Staples.
If you want to
Yeah.
come, you're more than welcome. And then when you have a listing appointment, I'm happy to book it.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna prep you for that. So
Yeah.
anybody that's in this point, don't worry, you're covered.
Yeah. And you guys know agents, and agents coming in know agents in the company too. Shout out them if they're doing listing appointments. But yes, it's professionally printed. So they're ordering it, like Marissa and Michelle, they used a company called Teresa Bader Marketing. It's professionally printed at a printer. They're glossy, they're thick paper, it's professionally designed. They didn't design them themselves. They may have tweaked and redesigned. Yeah, what's that? Yeah. And then others, Ruth Ann designed her own in Canva and then had them printed and had them laminated. Hers are cards. Who else is using the box card, Tom Ferry listing? Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty well, but I can, they're not that personality type. I'm switching over to something else. I have the online one ready to go.
Yeah.
It just depends, but yeah, the cards are.
And your leave behinds, your folder, your handout, right? They got to have a lot of people like the touch and the feel and the look and the flip. KV Core. I can't stress enough, if you're not using KV Core Present for your listing presentations, it's on point. When I do research and we try to stay up to date on the best tech stacks that are out there for you guys. KV Core is still at the top for AI solutions, for all of the products and the offerings that they have, but their listing presentation that they build digitally in Core Present is incredible, where it shows the funnel of the number of buyers we have in office interested in their listing at that price point, at that location. That builds into your listing presentation. Those selling features are phenomenal. And then if you can cast it or you present it on a device or whatever you're doing, but it's learning those tools as well. So incorporating all of those elements, because you don't want it to be a dog and pony show about you, right? So it's incorporating all of those elements, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, was really built. Like, you guys are using these are really wrong. Put them in Q4, it has the AI technology built in, it's got existing valuation, it's got the market updates. If you set all that stuff up, it's gonna change your life. Like, I admittedly slacked on my own sold.com leads that I've been buying. And I said late other night, I told Jim, I put 20 of them in the system, just set them all up on stuff. And the next morning I woke up to 2 text messages. I have a listing appointment on the phone today. And then I have another one that's interested in CMA that apparently that was already email, but I didn't do anything but put them in the system. Katie Core did everything. So that doesn't even include the AI calling that didn't see our setting up for. So I can only imagine that next level, I have a bunch of listings that I just slapped on. So if you guys are doing that consistently, using Katie Core for everything it's built for, I guarantee your business is going to explode this year.
And so I want to jump into, thank you, Ruth Ann, for that, the listing prospecting training. So in your packets, you have, and this was the training class, I apologize, I had to cancel on Monday. But this goes through quickly, listing prospecting techniques. And I'm happy to expand on any of them, but now is the time, and I apologize, it looks like this. I don't know, I'm gonna figure out this TV. I think it's because I've got this computer, Daisy changed to that computer, then Daisy changed to that. I don't know. Thank you. You're welcome. So now is the time for you guys to be prospecting for listings. This is when sellers are preparing their homes to list for what? Spring market, right? So you don't want to be waiting until February or March because they've already signed listing agreements, chances are, to list their house for spring market. Now, right now is when you want to be marketing to them. So this goes through some of the top listing prospecting techniques that cost you little to no money at all to implement, and you can start implementing them right away. So the first one is landlords in the area. Pick a neighborhood. You can go into, does anybody know that you can go into Bright MLS, go to search, property tax records, and you can pull a list of non-owner occupied properties in any neighborhood, anywhere in the MLS area. It will show you who the owner is, and it will give you their mailing address, where they live. What's a non-owner occupied property? AKA a what? A rental property, right? So I'm not telling you to market to that house, to the person living in that house, unless you want to pick up a buyer lead. So you could do a twofold marketing program if you wanted to. One, to the people living in those houses that are non-owner occupied, renters to get them to buy because interest rates have dropped and it's a great time to buy a house. But we're talking about listings, right? Create a marketing campaign, a letter, send out a letter to all of the landlords that have properties in those areas with a one-page CMA of the property values for any of their rental properties, showing them how much equity they have in their rental property, right? Because we just talked about how property values have just skyrocketed, especially since 2018, 19, 20, 21. So anybody that's bought a house or owns a house that have owned it since before then, they probably have a ton of equity in it, right? You probably have, I saw a news report that a lot of small mom and pop landlords are older, they're aging, and they're getting tired of being landlords, right? So they're either looking to cash out their equity to use for retirement purposes, or they're just tired of it and they want to be done with it. So if you're sending a letter to a landlord with a CMA, one-page CMA market value report of their property's value, talking to them about, are they thinking about selling? You are going to get responses. You're going to get people reaching out to you. So that's one method. Any questions on that? And it gives you a little script, a little letter you can use to market to them. Yep, just like a one sheet. The other thing you can do, and I'm going to talk about this when we get to the CMA a day prospecting program, is print out the Zillow sheet for their listing for their property where it has the Zestimate on there, circle it, put an exclamation point, put a sticky beside it, that says your property's value, question mark, call me and I'll tell you why this might not be accurate. Or this might not be accurate. It could be more, right? Whatever. Because we know estimates are not worth the paper that they're right, that they're printed on. But it's a great talking point. So that's one way you could do that. Or you send them actually a one-sheet market report, a brief CMA, showing them roughly what their property's value might look like. Canceled and expired. You guys have been asking, I've had several questions lately about calling expired. Now's the time to be doing this, but you're not calling properties. You want to go back, right? You want to look at properties that expired in Q4, a couple months ago, a month ago, 2 months ago. Everybody gets called the moment that their property expires, right? Their property expires on the MLS or gets canceled. Their phones are getting blown up by realtors that are prospecting expireds and canceled. Nobody is going back a couple of months and calling expireds that expired a couple months ago. Make sure they haven't relisted. So you do want to look up and search that property or make sure it's not actively listed again with somebody else. But now is a great time to be calling through all of those expired sellers that expired in Q4 of last year. And that script is, are you still thinking about selling? Do you have where you're planning to go? And then you're going to talk through that. Do you have an idea why your house might not have sold? The script is here for you. Okay. So that's another way. Go into the MLS, search for expired status and when it expired, put in your dates. So I would go back all the way to like all of last quarter, October 1st through December 31st. And then start reaching out to them. Yep, and I'm going to get to that. Thank you. No, you're good. Thank you. But that's our last one. Social media and paid advertising. So Ruth Ann touched on this. Jeff Choice, you do this. I know several of Erica McCullough does it. In KV Core, did you know that you can run ads through KV Core for pretty much anything you want to market for? It's easy. It creates the creative and the content for you. It funnels those leads back into your KV Core for you to a landing page, dumps them into KV Core, and then sets them up on a follow-up plan. If you don't like that, you can run your own. So you can do Instagram. These are free. Does it cost you anything to run an Instagram poll to engage people? No, right? $0. Run a poll on Instagram. Are you living in your dream home now? Yes or no? Have you had any thoughts of selling your home in 2026? Yes or no? Right? People will click. People love clicking on Instagram story polls. I don't know if you do, but I do. That's a great way. It's prospecting. So then when somebody clicks yes, what are you doing? Following up with them, right? If you know them, call them. If you don't, DM them, but you're following up. It's a great way to get those people engaging with you. But you can also do paid ads. When you're doing paid boosted ads, I see a lot of you do paid boosted ads for listings, just listed, open house, right? And your copy says, which is great, it's great, I love it, but it says, just listed, gorgeous new home, won't last long, call me today for a private tour. What are you attracting? Buyers, right? Your ads are attracting buyers. If you want to attract sellers, change your copy. Do the same just listed ad, but change the copy. The difference would be just listed, gorgeous new home in 21075, won't last long. We have hundreds of buyers and not very many listings. Thinking about selling in 2026, call me today. Or this won't last long. We need more listings. Thinking about selling, call me. Right? Keep it simple, but change your messaging. All of you put out the same ad content, bless you, that says call me today for a private tour, which is great, but you're marketing to buyers. And I know several of you in your business planning have said to me, you intentionally want to draw more sellers to yourselves this year, not necessarily as many buyers. So watch what you're putting out on social media. everything, whether it's boosted ads or just the posts that you're putting out. Because a lot of your post content is post content geared toward buyers, 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 buyers. I don't see you talking a lot about listings. Make sense? Even if you don't have very many listings, use the office listings, right? We just listed. This won't last long. We have more buyers than we do listings. Thinking about selling, call me today for a free market value of your home's value, free market report, right? Pay attention to what you're putting out and what messaging you're using, depending on who you want to draw to yourself. Seller seminars. Seller seminars. I know a lot of you, and I've seen a lot of you do what? Well, buyer seminars, right? If you want sellers, start doing seller seminars. Here's how seller seminars look. It could be a prepare your home to sell panel of speakers, panel of expert speakers. Invite them out, give a gift, do a raffle drawing for a really nice dinner, right? But you're going to invite them out to a panel of expert speakers to give tips and advice on how to prepare your home to sell in 2026. Who's going to be on your panel of speakers? Contractors. It could be anybody, landscapers, flooring expert, stagers, right? If you have a staging company that you work with, because they know a lot about design tips, paint colors, what's the hot color of paint for 2026 that all buyers want to see. Home inspectors, things to look for. Talk about doing a pre-inspection, how to get your home ready. It could be any of our contractors from our investor contractor bundle group that we have that come out and do renovations on properties to get them ready to sell. But think about who you would want to invite out to this panel of speakers and market it. You can do it live. You can use our office space, any of our office spaces. You can do it online. I've seen a lot of lenders and a lot of realtors now doing live seminars on Facebook or social media, but they go live and they market it as a online webinar seminar. You can take questions, it can be interactive, so you can do it online. So think about how can you be creative and then market it. The one thing I see lacks the most when planning a seminar is the marketing, right? You really want to take your time, plan it out for a little ways out so that you have ample time to actually market it. Run ads on social media. Eventbrite. Does anybody realize that on Eventbrite, when you create an event in Eventbrite and you make it public, anybody that has ever created an Eventbrite account gets to see that event if it's something, if it's content that Eventbrite feels is relative to them and their interests. Eventbrite will advertise it to them on social media. So putting it out on Eventbrite. And then if you're not really great, because a lot of you have said to me, well, that's great, Tina, but I'm not good at creative. I'm not good at designing stuff. I don't know how to do it. Fiverr is a great little site that you can use to create, it's designers. It's basically a batch of freelance designers that will create content for you for a fee. You decide what you want to create. You pick the designer. They'll create content for you. Here's an example of targeting a seminar to downsizers. So you could create a seminar specifically for seniors that are looking to downsize and then teach a class on how to downsize. Have some experts here, some expert speakers to help them with downsizing to a smaller home, right? That's just one other perspective. Whenever you do a seminar, always advertise a free raffle giveaway, guys. People like free stuff, right? For everybody that comes and attends, you're going to be entered in to win 1 week's vacation, dinner at Capitol Grill, whatever, right? Make it really nice. Make it something they're going to want to come in for. And it's not, a lot of people don't care about a free home warranty, or they don't necessarily care about a free pre-inspection or a free, right? Because to them, that doesn't really have much value. To us, we understand the value of it. They don't really understand the value of those things. The last one, the last piece, and this is one that a lot of us that went to Tom Ferry learned this technique, and started implementing it right away, but I don't know how many actually have continued to do this after Tom Ferry, is the CMA a day listing prospecting. The way that this works, and there's a couple different ways that you can do the CMA a day, this is sending out a market value to particularly your database. It could also be to leads, seller leads that have come in. It could be to a farm area, a neighborhood that you're working on farming. Could be your own neighborhood. But what you're going to do is you're going to send out a brief CMA. It could be a full CMA, but that's going to take you a while to create all of those, right? But it's a brief CMA. We sat at Tom Ferry, and he had us, everybody sitting in the audience, text out this dialogue to everybody in their database or anybody in their phone that owned a home and bought a home more than say 3 years ago. The dialogue was, hi, Ruth Ann, the market is really moving and home values are going up, up, up. Want to know your home's new value? We were sitting there, right? And you guys, we were texting this out, and agents were like, holy crap. They just responded and said, yeah, I would love to know. Or yeah, thank you so much, Saeed, for thinking of me. I would love to know our current value. Or so a couple of our agents that were there in that class actually got follow-up listing appointments or appointments to go out and talk to people in their database about their home's value because they were thinking about possibly selling in the near future. So this is going back through your current database, people that have bought from you more than 3 years ago. Look them up. Go into KV Core, and this is what Ruth Ann was talking about. If you didn't realize this, in KV Core, when you go into your contacts, you can create a rapid listing value report for any prospect, anybody in your database that owns a home and has a property marketed in your, or I'm sorry, an address listed in your KV Core. I'm just going to click on one. They probably don't even have an address in here, but I'm going to show you where it is. It's right here under listing valuation. And I know it's really blurry. So you go into their contact record. If you have an address in there for them, you go to listing valuation. It will create instantly a listing valuation for their property. And it can email it out to them, or you can just take that value. You can create a letter. You can whatever you want to do with it. Yeah, make sure you know that it's good, that it's better than what they bought it for. Go ahead.
I set that up for myself and it gives me updates.
Me too.
Always less. It's always considerably less than what I think it should be worth. And I think that's to prompt them to call you.
To call, yeah. So it's interesting because mine was more, and I don't know, I don't know what more than what I thought it would have been. But I'm addicted to that thing. Like I get that email every month, right? And I'm a realtor. I can go in and run my own property's value anytime. But that email is like crack for me. I'm like, oh my God, it's here. What is it? What's the value, right? Yeah. So they use a different tool. What is it? It's what's that? HomeBot. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I know that one's pretty cool too. I've seen that one also. So this is one way you can do that. The Zillow, the Zestimate one. Yeah. Yeah.
So the one Tina's about to go over, this is like really good. And John was having a hard time getting hold of somebody who did this with them. So a couple things you can do, which Tina will go over the print version, I'll print it out, but a real quick way to do this. If you go into the Zillow app and put somebody's address in, past client, whatever, and if you go down to the market value, there's a graph. And you can slide the graph over, and let's say you sold them the house 5 years ago, 2 years ago, even if you didn't sell them the house, you can go in and slide it over and say, Zillow's current value for this house I'm looking at is 1.15, and just like 5 years ago was 780. So if you go and you screenshot this and you send it, just screenshot to your client, say Zillow has over the last 5 years, you gaining $400,000 in equity. In my opinion, I'd love to hear yours. And just screenshot that and send it. And that will get some attention. I think it's the equity part that shows you, okay, you paid this much equity in X amount of time. Or if you don't have the equity, if you didn't sell them, have whatever, you say Zillow has your value shown at 1.15 billion. I, in my opinion, I'd love to give yours and just screenshot that. And that'll get their attention. There's also print version, which Tina will talk to you about, but one of the important things in the print version also is the graph, because the graph gives a visual of equity that they gain through each chart.
Can you get that on Zillow.com? Can you see that equity chart?
Yeah, so you just go to Zillow.
As a not a realtor.
Yeah. So, yeah, don't go into your Zillow Premier app, go into just the Zillow app or Zillow.com. You don't have to log in, but just put in, just do a random address that's not listed. Scroll to the, there's a values estimate and there's a chart.
Sorry.
I think it's an estimate.
It should say market, when the app it says market value.
That's it.
Did I go?
And then look at this chart.
Oh,
So this chart is a good visual. If you scroll
Where?
down. And then there's like this, I think you can, I know on the phone, you might be able to slide this over. If you click on the graph, you might be able to slide it over.
Home,
Yeah, there you go.
so it's showing home values.
Yeah. So if you look at the year and the value, so I don't know, if there's a mark on 2000, I don't know, maybe they, or 2020, maybe they bought it then.
Rental, it was a rental. Listed. So yeah, depending on. Yeah.
Whatever you're saying. Do this.
Yeah. It's some of that. You want to know.
It's just a talking, right? It's just a connection. It's a way to connect with them. It's a way to show value.
This is that, history, because I just had a client call, like, and ask me, can we change my estimate on the listing? I'm like, no, we can't, and then.
You can.
They can claim their property.
Yeah. I've done that.
Say it's their property and they get the listing.
I have a listing coming up.
They can really change.
If it's, you claim it as the homeowner and then go in and if there's like, the square footage is wrong, or it'll have a number of bedrooms is wrong, or bathrooms, you add, like my personal home.
Well, it has to be.
Because it didn't have all the square footage, it has a bathroom, it has a.
I turn it off if it doesn't help.
So you look at that.
If it doesn't support the price that I'm listing for, I talk to my client, I just turn it off in that MLS, say no listing, and it'll turn off everything that's been also. Because now she sent, like, apparently it just changed to like last night, and she sent me a screenshot, it changed again, I'm like, I don't know, that's. We'll turn it off. Right, you had to turn it off, go to break MLS and hit that one button and it's on. It's almost like. But it's off of, it'll be off of all, but they're not allowed.
So you know in the listing
Yeah.
paperwork where it asks if they give permission for, but I thought it removed it from Zillow completely.
It does.
No, not the Zestimate. I thought it removed the whole listing from
No.
Zillow. It just removes the Zestimate.
Okay, I thought the same thing, I thought it was.
Maybe they changed that.
Yeah.
It used to tell us it would remove their listing completely from Zillow if they turned that feature off.
No, if you hit that ABM button, it just turns off that price, because mine still stay in Zillow, but there's just no, that's,
Okay.
but if it helps find a price, I would say. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, depending on the value. So that's the last, so the last one here is sending out a letter, sending out to a home. So this you can do to any property in a neighborhood that you're farming or your own neighborhood. Doesn't just have to be to your database, because some of you in here are saying to me, Tina, I don't have a database yet. I'm brand new, or haven't been in it very long. I have no database. I have no past buyers yet. So you can do this for any target neighborhood that you want to target, where you know that there have been considerable equity increases in that community. So if you know that in this neighborhood, homes have gone from like 225 to now 350, if they're townhouses, right? You could target that neighborhood. Make sure you send a letter to homeowners and send it to the mailing address, not to the property address, right? So when you pull, so everybody in here, bless you, realize you can pull free mailing lists out of Bright MLS, yes, right? From the property tax search, you can search a neighborhood, you can do a map search, however you want, and you can actually print labels, or you can print it as a CSV file and create a mailing. but you can actually pull whether you want it to go to the property address or to the mailing address, right? So if we're trying to pick up sellers, we want it to go to the mailing address. Because if those people don't live there anymore, you want it to go to their mailing address, so you know they're getting it if they're a landlord. So you're gonna send them a one sheet of their property's value. You can add a letter, add a sticky note, call you, this could be different, it could be higher, but reach out if you have questions on your property's value. It's just another way of marketing for listings. Any questions on that? On any of that? Pick one, pick the one that you like, pick the one that you can implement and you know you will implement, and start implementing it. Now is the time when you guys can be picking up listings. All right? Yeah.
One other suggestion I just learned about in class, and I haven't really looked into, I haven't done it myself, I literally just learned this, but, to, every time you're going to show your buyers, you acquire houses, tell them, oh, I've looked up, try to throw on, if and you're in the area, one for sale by owner every time. And then call that person. So you're not really approaching that for sale by owner, like it's less threatening because you're bringing a buyer. And then if that buyer doesn't buy it,
You can follow up and work
follow
here.
up. And
Yeah.
there were like little techniques that was kind of more to it than that.
Nice.
And you go on like for salebyowner.com and like different ones just to look. If you're going out with a buyer, maybe add one and
Yeah. That's a great tip. It's also good to not forget about for sale by owners when you're scheduling showings for your buyers, because there could be additional listing inventory out there that you're not showing your buyers, you're not picking up on. Yeah.
I'll come back and get them from.
Right.
Send it to you the same, I love it, or whatever. And so then that way they see what I was all thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
And she
Yeah.
also left behind that like 151 things. or
Your realtor
whatever,
does for you?
Like,
Yeah.
they, left kind of a packet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real quick, too, there's a site, fitbo.com, I can find all these.
Yes. Yeah, I have it listed here. There's several.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
separated.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. Zillow has them too, right? Zillow still, no, they took them down. Right. Okay. Nice. Real quick, yeah, awesome. Real quick, a couple last things that are important, and then we do have lunch coming. Brivo. So you guys probably got an email to set up your access to the office from Brivo, Brivo. It is legit. There's an app that you can download. It's mobile access using your cell phone. So you're going to need to download the app, create an account, create your account using your Hyatt and Company email address. There's a code at the very bottom of that email that you have to put into your account, your app account when you set it up to link you and so that it finds you as an agent with the office. And then it gives you on your mobile phone a button. You open the app. When you want to come into the office after hours, you just click front door or side door, whatever it says, and it'll unlock that door for you. Give you time to get in. It doesn't stay unlocked. It unlocks it for like, I don't know, 30 seconds or 60 seconds or something like that. So that is our new access system. So all of you have 24-hour access to the office, this office through that mobile app. There is no alarm code, so there's no alarm here for you to disable. So you don't have to worry about that. I know, trust me, I get the Howard County Police false alarm letters every time. That was one time for you, times all the people one time, Daryl. What? Oh, yeah, no, I know, they find you. You get three ones, I think. Yeah, exactly. And then Merit, that you have a flyer in your packets. This is a cool little perk for being a Merit tenant. If you join a Merit Club gym, you get a discount for being a tenant here at our office. You just give them our company name. When you go to sign up at a gym, a Merit gym, give them our company name. And it's up to a 30% discount on your membership fee at any Merit gym. I guess each Merit gym has a different set discount that they give based on their membership rates. But just let them know you're a tenant, you're Hyatt and Company Real Estate. I don't know if they'll ask you for the office address, but then you do get a discount at the Merit gyms, which is kind of cool. And for those of you that don't remember or have forgotten, right upstairs here on the second floor, there is a gym that you have access to as well, for being a tenant in the building. So you can use, it's got 2 locker rooms, 2 showers. So cool little perk. It is open, yeah. So as long as you have access to the building, which is through our office, the door is unlocked. Yeah, you just go right in. So yes. What? Up here, you can bring anybody you want. It's not manned, it's not staffed. It is a small gym. It's kind of like what you would see in like a hotel. So it's not like a huge, but it's got cardio, it's got a universal machine, it's got free weights. It's pretty cool. I know some of us have been frequenting it already. It's just a nice, cool little perk to have. Across the walkway, across the courtyard, there is in the other building a little convenience center, a little like snack center with sodas and drinks and protein bars and some hot items that you can purchase, which is a kind of a cool feature as well. Our fax number, we do have a fax number for this office. It is different from maybe what you had been given in the past. So please take a note of that fax number. 443-820-3401 for this office fax number. And then our holiday party, if you have not yet RSVP'd, please do so. It should be a lot of fun. It's going to be a casino night. So James Bond theme, but we have casino tables. We're going to be playing some roulette, some craps, can't remember what else we have coming. But it should be a fun night, dancing, really good food. And it's at the Great Room in Savage Mills, February 27th, 6 to 10 p.m. And then last but not least, listing contest. 'Tis the season. Q1, as you know, we always pretty much do a listing contest. So it's starting today. Ellie, I'm sorry if I'm boring you. Runs through April 15th. I'm kidding. January 14th today, ending April 15th, which is the April sales rally. We'll announce the winner. It's for top number of active listing agreements during that window. Listing must be signed within the contest window. 1 point per property address. You cannot list your own house if you count. Dennis. Yeah. And prize, we're giving away a $500 shopping spree on markful.com. So you can use it for whatever you want marketing wise on markful.com. Sign panels, open house directionals, gear, swag, gifts, whatever it is that you want. $500 on markful.com. So Amanda and Sean are going to be, and Aisha will be tallying those and keeping track of them. And if you have any questions on it, just let us know. Questions? Anything else?
Yeah, we gotta get to
Amanda, do you have any ops reminders? You were on the phone. I did not. You were on the phone with Papa John's when I, yeah, you were on the phone.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
Hi. So I don't have much. I'm going to be so brief. Okay. First off, thank you. You guys are doing a lot better at getting your stuff submitted and submitting throughout the life of your deal and all of that. We really appreciate that. Some of you are still not, but I have faith. I have faith that it'll get better. That was my first thing. Secondly, you're going to start seeing on your admin emails, if you're putting the Meadow Ridge Center Drive address, if you're out of the Elk Ridge office, I'm going to start asking for that to be corrected, especially on contract page 11. I need those checks coming here, not there. Along with the fax number. I know a lot of you put the fax numbers in your templates. To all my new agents that just attended Achievement Academy and we templated that. Sorry, change it to the new one. As a reminder, I teach .loop templates once a month. And when I say teach, we go through, we get them set up. I give you all of the right information you need for your contracts, buyer broker agreements, whatever it may be, we get those templated so that way you don't have to keep messing with them. And then we kind of bust down some of the documents into some categories, getting your buyer and offer docs together, getting your contingencies together to make it easy. You guys are always welcome to come to my Loop templates class if you want, so that way we can get it situated for that. The bathrooms, I've had about 10 of you come to me for the bathrooms. You're gonna go through the main lobby door, hang a left, the first doorway for the women's bathroom. That first doorway is the women's bathroom. The second one is the men's bathroom. And then that door is unlocked, so you guys can just come right back in. If you need any help with the Brevo mobile pass, please come and see me and Sean before you're in the situation where you're calling us at 6 o'clock at night or on the weekends. I'm always happy to help. You guys can still call me, but come and see us if you guys need help with that, and we'll get that taken care of. And the printer drivers will all need to be updated. If you have not already had that updated, please come and see me or Sean, and we will get that updated for you. I think that was pretty much it.
It'll open up the email that was sent with the link to the app, and then you download it, and it'll say create task. Yeah, but it just took me like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I did mine.
It's super simple. It really is.
Yep.
Yeah, for quarter four last year, they're due right, yeah. Last but not least, I would like everybody to take a really quick moment and join me in wishing my firstborn a happy birthday. So, and he was actually born on a Wednesday. So yeah. So happy birthday, Trevor. You're welcome. So yeah, I was gonna put up an old baby photo, an embarrassing. Put it on the screen. I can still do that actually. Since you asked, hopefully there's nothing in my pictures. Oh no. No, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, I would never.
I haven't. I know, right? I know. I haven't synced them, so I can't put it up here. Oh wait, I can airdrop it to myself. Sorry, Trev.
She's not.
Well, it's got me in it, so you guys will really get a treat.
Here, I can send you one.
Here we go. Look at that. Funny. Daryl, do you have one you want to share?
You thought it worked?
Looks like who's? Oh no, that's the same one. Stop it. That was when we thought he was gonna want to be. Oh, this is a good one, Daryl. No, it's not. Uh-oh, they're all so cute. Poor Trevor. You guys don't have to hang around.
Yeah. Well, we're here for that.
Would you look at that? Oh my goodness. All right. Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you for coming out. We do have pizza and some desserts coming in a few minutes if you want to hang out, or it's already here. It's already here in the conference room. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody online.
All right, I gotta run home. I'll be right back. I'm excited. Late yesterday and yeah. If it don't leave. I